Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This use of the term civilization threatening or civilization destroying asteroids, let's remind me at what size would we say such an asteroid would be?
A 1 kilometer asteroid would be carrying energy in the range of tens of millions of megatons. That is as much or more energy as was in the combined arsenals of the United States and the Soviet Union at the height of the Cold War. An asteroid of that size, a kilometer or bigger, could plausibly end civilization. Nobody has the detailed models, the ability to calculate in detail to tell you exactly what the threshold is. But when you're talking about tens of millions of megatons of explosive energy, you are putting civilization at risk.
And I'm hearing that we're relatively optimistic that we can develop systems at the right price points to be able to detect asteroids of this size with a sufficient amount of lead time to be able to do something about it.
Well, yes, that's the size range where we've already detected something in the range of 93, 94% of the asteroids of that size range that could come close to the Earth. And in that size range, we can be reasonably assured, especially as we make these additional investments going forward, of being able to detect them with quite a lot of notice.
Let's scale it down to medium to large size city-destroying asteroids. What size would those be?
A city-destroying asteroid could be in the range of 50-meter diameter, carrying an energy in the range of 5 to 10 megatons.
What sort of systems would we need to be able to detect that? I mean, you talked about more assets in our orbit, telescopes of that kind, including those that could get around the issue of the sun.
Yeah, we would want the infrared telescope in an orbit resembling that of Venus. It could be a Venus trailing orbit following the planet around, the planet Venus, which again is what the B612 Foundation is in fact working on. As Administrator Bolden mentioned, we actually had an experiment with an infrared telescope that was built for an orbiting telescope built for a different purpose. It's very good at finding asteroids.
We spoke a lot about the cooperative nature of what would need to happen, nations coming together, but would there be also rivalrous kinds of impulses which might divide us? In fact, if we're to detect objects of this size, would nations also be concerned about that impacting the ability to detect missiles, for example?
I think these are very different capabilities. As General Shelton mentioned, going into detail about our missile detecting capabilities would require a different forum, but they are quite different in nature from the capabilities we need to detect and track asteroids.
Well, the chairman raised a question that I thought was rather interesting. Did none of our current missile detecting capabilities, they fail to be able to detect the most recent asteroid? And you may not be able to answer that question here.
I can. We did detect it. And as I said, it was at the time. It wasn't predictive. It was detection at the time.
So the missile detection capacities we have now, I mean, really are kind of, they're more in real time as opposed to time that we might be able to remediate the problem.
Yes, sir, and focused on two things. The infrared signature coming out the back end of a missile, we see that. And as soon as it either breaks the ground, if there's weather overhead, as soon as it breaks the clouds, we will see that. We'll be able to tell you what type of missile it is. We'll be able to tell you where that missile's going. We'll be able to tell you where it's going to impact. So very solid missile warning capabilities. Those infrared sensors can be used for other things, but they can't be used for predictive things out beyond Earth orbit.
Mr. Chairman, I'm out of time. Thank you so much.